Hey guys, in this video we are going to build AI agents to help automate internal business processes. In the last video we built a customer-facing AI agent, right? The kind that businesses are actively buying from us at the agency. But today we are flipping the script, and this time we are building an internal AI assistant. This is also a highly requested solution that supports a company's own team. Employees, managers, and executives. Is designed to streamline internal operations, and I'll walk you how to build it step by step. So we are going to create two main agents. The first one is designed for employees. Think HR, customer support, compliance, or workforce administration teams. This agent can answer questions about HR policies like sickness leave or holidays or maternity leave. It can also guide new employees through the onboarding process step by step and, help them get up to speed without needing a dedicated HR person walking them through everything. Then, instead of searching through Confluence or long internal documents, employees can just ask the bot and get the info instantly. And all of that will be built using RAG, so it can pull accurate answers straight from internal documentation. Very easy build. It will take us only a few minutes. The second agent is much more interesting. It is for management, okay? For executives, team leads who want quick project updates. Okay, so for example, they can ask, what is the status of project X, or which tasks are overdue? And the agent will fetch that information directly from the internal project management system, like Jira or Asana or whatever the company uses. And for this, we'll build a simple API integration using HTTP requests to pull or update live data. We'll also deploy the agents as a standalone web page that you can open in a browser and start chatting with, just as you would with ChatGPT. All right, so this is our first demo. This is our HR AI agent. I am an employee and I want to request some instructions on how to request sickness leave. So let's say I am sick. How can I request sickness leave? So it is going to use RAG to pull the company policy on sickness leave, and then it will provide me with a structured, actionable response. So no problem. Here's how you can request sickness leave at Rock Solid Construction Ltd. So this is just a sample company, completely imaginary. I generated that policy with ChatGPT. So specific steps: notify your supervisor immediately, log your leave in the HR portal, and then some guidelines how to do that. Apply a leave, sick leave, submit a medical certificate, follow up, blah, blah, blah. Okay, then I want to ask how many days of sickness leave am I entitled to? All right. So again, according to the general company policy, it will provide the accrual. You're entitled to 12 days of sick leave per year. It can be a different question. Let's say, what about maternity leave? And again, at Rock Solid Construction Ltd, employees are entitled to 26 weeks of maternity leave as per the law. So this is how it works. Now you can apply the same logic, the same scenario to onboarding procedures, to customer support, etc. Now let me show you how it works from the n8n editor. By the way, we are going to use n8n for all the agents built in this tutorial. Before doing that, I just want to quickly note that with n8n, you can either use their cloud solution where you subscribe for like SaaS tier, SaaS package, or you can self-host it. I strongly recommend using self-hosted solution because then it is much cheaper. You control all the data. It is secure. And for self-hosting, I suggest using Hostinger. Again, the pricing here is very reasonable. They have like one-click integration with n8n. I can quickly show you how to do that. So go to this page. It will be provided in the video description. Click choose your plan. KVM2 is the optimal one. With that one, you can host thousands or hundreds of agents easily. So just navigate to choose plan. Here you can select the subscription period. It can be 1 month or 12 months or 24 months. If you go for 24 months, you'll get a crazy discount of 61% here. Plus, since I'm in partnership with Hostinger, if you apply my coupon code BOSAR right here, click apply, you'll get additional 10% discount. And this is a limited offer, so make sure to use it. Click continue and finalize your registration process here. Once you're in, all you need to do is navigate to VPS. Here, click setup, start now. Select the closest location to you. In my case, Germany is good. Click continue. Continue. Create your root password. click continue. And to finish setup, all you need to do is click finish. So your VPS will be set up in around 5 minutes. Just wait for it. And once done, you can go to your dashboard. And from your dashboard, you can click manage app and you'll be redirected to n8n to go to your account and start building. All right, now let's go back to n8n and I'll show you how the agent is built. So this is our simple AI agent in n8n. We've got our webhook trigger. So whenever a message is sent here, this workflow will be triggered. Then it is going to be processed by our AI agent node. It is equipped with OpenAI chat model, so with LLM, GPT-4o in my case. It has simple memory to remember the context of the past 25 interactions. Then it can use Pinecone vector store as a tool to retrieve the relevant documents to reply to the questions. And then there is respond to webhook, so it will send information back to my code. And here you will get the answer. So basically this is the output from my AI agent node. Now let's break it down step by step. So in order to use Pinecone vector store, you need to first upload the relevant documents to your vector store. I already showed in my previous video how to do this step by step, so I'm not going to go through it like in details, but really quick. The first note here is Google Drive trigger. It is going to check my folder every minute. Just connect Google Drive account using this documentation from n8n. It is crystal clear how to do it. Then you need to select the relevant folder. So in my case, this folder in Google Drive is n8n demo. It is going to monitor this folder, and once I add a new PDF file, it is going to upload it to my vector store. So watch for file created, options, file type, all, and it will be triggered on changes involving a specific folder, which is n8n demo. Hope this is clear. The next node is Google Drive download file. So here you will just download the file that was added to your folder and that triggers that workflow. So it will automatically identify the ID of that file according to the output from this previous node. Then we have Pinecone vector store node. Then the operation mode is insert documents. So we are going to insert that download document to our index in Pinecone. You select the index to use. And then you can also create a namespace to have your data structured. So in my case, it is HR policy. So all you need to do in Pinecone is create an index. So this is super easy. Just go to create index, keep all the settings default. The only thing to select here is the embedding mode, which would be text embedding 3 small. This is what I use. Click create, and then the same text embedding 3 small should be selected in your n8n workflow. When you go to embeddings OpenAI, here make sure it is also text embedding 3 small. So the same one which you use in your Pinecone index configuration. All the rest is pretty much should be unchanged. Type of data binary. Recursive character text splitter I use for splitting text into chunks for embeddings. So this is pretty straightforward. This is how you insert the documents to your vector store. Now you can build another workflow, an AI agent that can use that Pinecone vector store as a tool to retrieve information from those documents. So my trigger node here is the default one, just when chat message is received. Then I have my AI agent node. The only thing to change here is the prompt, the system message. So add option, system message, and then go to expression. You can open it. And here you will see my prompt, but of course you will need to generate one for your own needs. I'm going to provide you with my n8n prompt creator. This is a custom GPT that I built for you. You can access it in my resource hub in school. All the templates that I show today, the webhooks, the Replit code, everything will be provided in my school community. So you just need to go to school, then navigate to YouTube resources, find the relevant post with this video, and then you can access all the resources that I showcase in this video. So all you need to change in this AI agent node is adapt the prompt to your needs. So let's just quickly go through it. Role, you're a virtual HR partner for Rock Solid Construction Ltd. Personality and tone, core responsibilities. So this defines the way that the overall agent communicates, interacts with the user. All right, these two are just default subnodes. So we have our LLM, this is the brain of our agent, and we have our memory, which contains the context of previous interactions. Now the Pinecone vector store tool, here you need to again connect your Pinecone account. Then operation mode would be retrieve documents as tool for AI agent, this one. Just give it a name. Then we have the description. So here you need to explain to the LLM what this tool does. A good specific description would allow LLMs to produce expected results much more often. So essentially, I just tell it that it should use this tool to retrieve relevant HR policy information from Rock Solid Construction Ltd. Use this tool when the user asks about employee rights, leave procedures, benefits, disciplinary processes, etc. So just explanation to an LLM when to use this tool, when it needs to retrieve information from my Pinecone vector store. Then I select the relevant index, the one that I created in Pinecone, and also Pinecone namespace if I have a dedicated one. And then embeddings OpenAI model, make sure it is the same as you created for your index. In my case, it is text embedding 3 small. That's pretty much it. You can open chat and test it a little bit. Let's refresh this session. Hi. Let's see if it works. You can always check the logs here. So first it went to simple memory, then to OpenAI chat model, then to simple memory again. Let's ask it about, tell me about termination procedure. So this time it went to Pinecone store tool to retrieve the relevant policy, and it provided me with the relevant guidelines on termination: voluntary resignation, notice period, final dues, involuntary termination, all the information that I need about it, exit interview, etc., etc. So it works. It can use my Pinecone vector store to provide the relevant information. Now all you need to do is integrate it with my UI chatbot here. So this chatbot will be provided to you as a Replit project. Again, just go to my school community, navigate to YouTube resources, and you'll access this Replit project. You will be able to copy it. All you need to do here is replace this URL. So if you go to index.html and replace this URL with your webhook URL, and then it will be basically connected to your workflow. So again, I'm going to provide you with this updated template. Now we've got webhook trigger and webhook response. Let's quickly go through the webhook trigger node. So here we've got webhook URLs. Go to production URL. Method should be post. Just copy this URL, then go to that project and paste it here. So it will be the same in my case because this is the one I'm using. Then make sure the respond is using respond to webhook node. And if you go to options, add option, and then just select allowed origins. This will make the whole thing work. Save it, and then in respond to webhook, you just need to respond with JSON and use the same format as I'm using here, where the output here, JSON output, will be the output from my AI agent node. So pretty straightforward. Then if I go back to Replit here, to add it to your website, you just need to add the content of this dist folder. You can use ChatGPT to get help with that. It is also pretty straightforward. And here I can just test it out. So let's ask one more question. Tell me about termination policy. Let's wait. All right, and here's the summary of the termination policy at Rock Solid Construction. So if I go back to this workflow and I go to executions, I'll see this particular execution that just happened a second ago. Here, if I navigate to AI agent, I'll see the exact same output. Here's a summary of the termination policy at Rock Solid Construction, the exact same output as is visible here. So this is how it works. And now we are going to dive into the second agent. And first, let me show you the demo. So imagine my company is using Asana as a project management system. The way it is designed is that you have projects here, and within each project, here n8n demo, AAF site redesign, both are secret project, these are projects, and then within each project, I have different tasks. Then within each task, I have description, I have some comments, I have a status. You can mark it as complete and the status will change to completed. This is how it works. Now, currently, this looks really clean, right? You have 3 tasks. There is nothing to be confused about. But in real life, it kind of stacks up. And if you are a project manager or an executive, it becomes really hard and time consuming to go through all the tasks and find the relevant one and understand the status of a particular task. So for that purpose, we created an agent. Now imagine I am let me go to my demo here, my demo chatbot. Now imagine I am an executive, I'm a project manager, and I want to find out what are the current tasks in n8n demo project. All right. Let's give it a second. And it provides me with the list of all the current tasks in my project. Now, if I want to dive deeper and just ask it about this particular task, let's say, what is the summary for, and I'll just paste the name of this task. And it provides me with a structured reply. So it analyzes all the comments, all the changes, everything, and just gives me the output, right? The summary. Recently, Bosar completed the task, blah, 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 then marked it as incomplete. Bo attempted multiple times to finalize it, but ended up leaving it unfinished because I changed the statuses back and forth. There were also requests to reassign the task, first to Chris, then to Fabio, blah, blah, blah. So it basically analyzed everything and provided me with the summary. Now I want to add a comment, and I'll ask it, okay, add a comment telling Bo to complete this task by Friday. And now it is going to push HTTP request to my Asana system, and it will add a comment. Please make sure to complete this task by Friday. Let's go to my task here. This is the relevant one. Scroll down, and now there is new comment just now. Please make sure to complete this task by Friday. Okay, now let's go back to my chatbot here. Actually, let's change the status to complete. The status of the task setup and n8n instance on server has been changed to complete. And if I go back to my Asana system, I will see that it is now marked as complete. Now let's go to n8n and actually break down how this workflow is built and how to adapt it to your needs. So first of all, I could be lazy and build it just like this, where we have our webhook trigger node, then we have our respond to webhook node, and in the middle we have an AI agent node, which is prompted to provide assistance with project management system. So it would be employed with Asana pre-configured tools such as create task, update task, get tasks, get projects, etc. Well, this is nice, but experience shows that this approach is not consistent. It is not too reliable. It is hard to debug. It is unpredictable. So we decided to take a hybrid approach, which is much more reliable. Here you build a strict workflow in n8n, where we have HTTP nodes to get data from our system or to push data to our system, and we use LLM calls only to summarize text or generate text or maybe classify intent based on text only for those purposes. And this way, it becomes much more predictable, reliable, and consistent. And it is also easier to debug because if you go to executions and then you just get the snapshot of all the nodes and you can check specific mistakes or specific errors within a node. Okay, so let's break down this project high-level details. The first step is webhook trigger. So we receive the message from our user. The next stage is to identify the project and task in question, and if there is any. Then if there is a project in question, we are going to identify its ID because we need the ID to actually send HTTP requests. We can't use just names. If there is no project ID identified, we will just reply to our webhook saying that we don't have a project name. Can you please specify? If we have project ID, we are going to use switch node to understand if this is a project-related question or a task-related question, right? You remember we have projects here and tasks within each project. Now, if we had a project question, it would go this route. We would pull the details regarding that project and it would be summarized by our AI node, and then it would go to our webhook respond. If we had a task-related question, first we would need to identify the ID of the task in question, and then we need to understand the intent, whether this is to get the task summary, like all the history, or we want to add comment, or we want to update status. And then once the relevant action is done, it is going to respond to our webhook here. All right, now I'll go through the nodes and I'll show you how they are configured and what you need to change to adapt them to your needs. So first of all, we have our webhook node, exactly the same as in our previous workflow with RAG agent, HTTP method post, then respond using respond to webhook node, allowed origins. So all of that has been already discussed. My next node here is an HTTP call to get projects, right? So first of all, as you can see, I'm using a custom HTTP node, but theoretically I could use a pre-configured Asana node in n8n. I could go to get many projects right here, and this would be already pre-set up. But obviously not all of you would use Asana as a project management system. And my goal is to make this template and this tutorial as universal as possible. So I decided to use custom HTTP nodes. And if you understand how to use them, you can adapt it to any system you need, like ClickUp or Monday.com or Notion or Jira, whatever you want. So here I use method get, and then the URL, everything is taken from Asana's documentation. I also use ChatGPT to navigate me through Asana's API documentation. It is very easy, very straightforward. So whatever system you need to use, just consult ChatGPT how to build API integration. It will help you out a lot. And also in one of my previous videos, I showed in detail how to build API integrations. So this shouldn't be a challenge for you. Just watch that video. Here we've got our URL from Asana. So if I execute this node, I'll get all the projects from my Asana account. Let's actually get some test data to be able to execute all the nodes. So listen for test events. Let's ask a question here. All right, let's go back to my workflow here. So now I've got some output from my webhook trigger node. So it was successfully triggered. If I go to HTTP node here and click test step, it is going to get the project from my Asana. So I've got 3 projects here, n8n demo, both are secret project, and AAF site redesign. The next node here is my AI node, and its goal is to identify project and task. So basically it is going to take the user message, and this expression here is basically pulling from my previous webhook node. It is pulling my chat input value, this one, chat input, and this is currently what are the current tasks in both our secret project. And then I've got my system message where I'm instructing the LLM to basically analyze the message from the user and understand the project and the task names, right? And then I provided with the list of all projects in Asana so that it could understand which projects are there and which projects were mentioned in the message from our user. And this expression is obviously the projects that were in the output from my previous HTTP request node. Now, if I test this step, it is going to tell me the name of the project. Both are secret project. Well, we can work with that. The next node is also an LLM call, and it is designed to identify the intent, right? Because later on, we need to understand whether we want to get some project summary, or we want to get task summary, or we want to add comment, or we want to change status. So I prompted this AI node accordingly. If we go to my system prompts here, classify the user's message into one of the following intents: get tasks, get summary, add comment, or change status. I only return the intent name exactly, no extra text, all projects in Asana. This is pulled from my previous get projects node. And then projects and tasks in question. Again, this is what was defined by my previous AA node. So both our secret project was my project in question. Let's test this step. And the output is get tasks. So if I go back to my prompt, get tasks is when I'm asking about current tasks within a particular project. And my question was, as you remember, initially in webhook here, what are the current tasks in both our secret projects? So far, so good. Obviously, we've got LLMs here. I use GPT-4o Mini, and here as well. For each AI, agent node, you need to attach an LLM because this is the brain for that node, and memory subnodes to make it context aware and remember previous interactions. All right, the next step is to identify the project ID. So if you remember, when we used our HTTP node, we received not only project names, but also the relevant project IDs here. So now we are going to pass this data to our project ID matching node. It is going to call LLM and ask it basically to match the project name with the relevant project ID, right? So I provided with my project name, which was identified during this LLM call, and then I will also provide it with the output from my with the output from my get projects node, right? And this will give it all the names of all the projects and their IDs, and then return only the ID of the project. If you can't match confidently, respond with unknown. And then the next step, if I click test step, in the output, I'll get the ID of my Boss Our Secret project in Asana, right? Then the next step is to understand if the project ID is found or not. So if it is not equal to unknown, then we will continue with our workflow. But if the project ID is unknown, then it will go to this node. I called it no project found. It is again an AI agent node. And the prompt here is very simple. Tell the user that you can't find the relevant project in Asana. Ask them to clarify the project name, and it is going to respond to webhook with that message. So I hope it is clear so far. Next, we have a switch node, and the goal here is to select a one of two routes. Is it a project question or a task question? Because then, if it's a project question, we need to use a project ID in our HTTP request. And if it's a task question, then we need to use a task ID in our HTTP request. The way it is configured here is that we take the output from our classify intent node from this one. And here you remember the output might be get tasks, get summary, get add comment, or change status according to my prompt, right? So if it's get tasks, then we know that this is a project related question. But if it's not get tasks, then all the rest, whether it's get summary, whether it's add a comment or change status, all of them are task related questions, and we will go this second route. Okay, let's execute our switch node as well right here. So this time we had get tasks, right? And it went this first route. The next node here in project summary is basically HTTP request method get. The goal is to get all the tasks for this particular project. We are going to use in our URL a variable, and this variable is basically the project ID. And you remember we identified project ID right here when we matched it with the name of the project. So it is going to be pulled. Then we use our authorization, and pretty much that's it. Let's click test step, and we get 0 tasks because in my Asana project, Boss Our Secret project, I don't have any tasks. Let's create a few. Let's say determine I don't know the project. No, determine the values. Describe our mission, right? And let's say change the website. Just dummy tasks here. Let's retest this step. And now we've got these 3 tasks I just created, right? We have determined the values, describe our mission, and change the website. Cool. Then it is going to be passed to my AI agent node. Here, the prompt user message is basically the initial message from the user, and then the system message, which is our instructions prompt. If I open it up, you are an AI assistant replying to a project manager who asked about the task within a, and then I get the project name from identify project and task node. Here's the list of tasks for this project, and I get the basically the tasks from this previous HTTP request node. And then I'm just asking it to write a short, helpful summary reply to the user message. So depending on the context, it will construct the message properly. And if I click test step, it is going to send the output to our respond webhook node. And here, if I click test step, it should send the message back to my chat here. Because this is a test environment, right? I used test webhook. It might not work, but anyway, you saw in the production demo that it works. So basically here I just select respond with JSON, and then using this format for the output, I'm just pulling the JSON output from the previous node, and our previous node was this AI agent summarize task list node, and the output was basically the reply from our AI agent node. I hope this is clear. Now, if a question was regarding a task instead of a project, it would go this route. Let's actually get some test input here to get task-related question. All right, so let's ask it to provide update on this task. All right, for n8n demo project, right? For n8n demo project, give me updates from this task. All right, so the webhook should have been triggered. So let's go back to our workflow. Yes, it has been triggered. Let's just execute the following nodes. Now, this time, if we go to classify intent, the output is get summary, and this is the intent for a task, not for a project. We still need to get project ID. And since I mentioned n8n demo, it actually, there is a project ID. It actually managed to identify it. Then project or task, our switch node identified that this is a task question. Here, the goal is to just get all the tasks for that particular project. So method get, then I'm using the project ID from my project ID matching node. If I test this step, I'll get all the tasks for this project. Why am I doing this? Because I want to get all the IDs to match the relevant task ID for the task in question, right? So the next node is task ID matching. And here I'm asking the model to return only the ID of the task that best matches the name and task name from a user message, which was identified by the first AI call. And then all the tasks and their ID that were basically the output from this previous node. Okay, let's test the step. In the output, I'll get only one task ID, the task that is in question. The next node is going to use the previously classified intent, whether get summary, add comment, or change status. In my case, you remember it was get summary. So if I test step, it will go to the route task summary. And here we get another HTTP request node. This time method is still get because we are pulling the information from Asana. The URL is a bit different. Now we are using task ID that was identified previously. And this is just a URL that will provide us with stories, as they call it. This is basically all the updates, all the history for this particular task. Let's click test step. And here we get all the updates for that task. And we are passing this output to an AI node. And we ask this LLM to basically summarize all of that and provide a structured summary to the user. And if we test step, the output will be just a structured summary on that task. Bossar recently made some updates to the create demo workflow task. A couple of days ago, Bo assigned the task to you and added it to the n8n demo project, blah, blah, blah. So this is how it works. Basically, if we asked it to add a comment, again, the logic here is to first generate a proper comment based on unstructured draft from the user. Then it is going to use the relevant URL, this time post method, because we are sending data to Asana. And also I've included the body. It is in JSON using JSON. And then I've got this structure for my body where the text will be actually the output from the previous node. And as I just said, this previous node generating the comment based on the message from our user. So I hope this makes sense. And once the task is updated, the comment is added, this node should be successfully executed. It should go to the next one. The next one is just our AI agent to construct the reply to the user, and it will send it to a webhook. So that's pretty much it. And the same with status update. I have like additional AI nodes here to identify if the status needs to be true or false, like you can mark it as complete or not, and then it is going to send the information using put method, because we are just updating the information in Asana. It is going to send JSON body here, completed, and then the output from the previous node. Again, if it's true, then it is going to mark the task as complete. If it's false, then it will mark it as incomplete. So that's the current logic, and then it will respond to my webhook. Now, of course, you can do more actions here. I just don't want to take more of your time to, show you other HTTP requests. But basically, in Asana or any project management system you use, you can create a new task. You can delete a task. So whatever you want, you can find in API documentation which URL to use. Or consult ChatGPT which URL to use and how to construct that HTTP request, and then you can perform the relevant actions again based on the input from the user. So this is pretty much it. Again, this template is available for you to use for free. You can access it in my resource hub in school. You can download it as JSON file and then just go here, import from file, upload the JSON, and you'll be able to adapt it to your needs. Do not forget to use error handling workflow. So here in error workflow, select your relevant error handling workflow. I showed how to use it in my previous video. So again, just rewatch that video because it provides you with more basics and more details. I will also share with you this chat interface. So you'll get access to this project in Replit. You can copy it and feel free to use it. Now, what I showed you today is still just a demo. If you want to build solutions like this for real businesses and actually sell them, they need to be more advanced, more reliable, and tailored to specific business logic, okay? And that takes some technical skills. If you're serious about this, if you want to start building and monetizing AI solutions and maybe, run your own AI business, I invite you to join our AI Fellowship program. Inside, you'll get a technical crash course focused on building deployable, sellable AI automations. You'll also get access to the exact sales frameworks we use in our agency, from discovery calls to client onboarding, niche research, and real sales call recordings. Plus, we run weekly Q&A sessions where you can workshop your projects live with me and my CTO, Nick. And right now, at the moment of recording this video, we've got 7 spots left for one-on-one coaching. In those, we work with you directly, hands-on. So me personally and my CTO, Nick, both on a technical build-out and go-to-market strategy. If that sounds like your next step, check the link in the video description and I'll see you inside. Also, please leave some comments. Let me know which kind of tutorials you'd like to see next. Thank you very much for watching this one. Subscribe, stay tuned, and I'll see you soon. Bye.